Emotional.
Why do you have pictures of all of this, like this, personal? Why?
We get on the plane.
Oh my God.
And it's not the pilot, but whoever's sort of overseeing the crew.
This is it, guys.
And
this
he
is.
came and he knelt next to my seat.
Oh my God.
He took his hat off.
Oh God.
And I just remember looking at him. He goes, "We appreciate everything you did for our country."
Shut up.
Okay, so why do I think Meghan Markle has lied in this question on her Netflix series? Well, I can only point out what she does, and when asked here, has she done anything on purpose to agitate the royal family? As you can see, she looks down, she is laughing, there's an eye block as well as a nose touch. The Pinocchio moment, okay? One of the most powerful indicators of deceit, exaggeration, or a downright lie. The fact that she looks down while smiling and rubbing her nose with an eye block gives us a quadruple negative cluster, which means on this question alone, I would not be believing Meghan Markle's response.
And I've told you guys before, I used to be the editor of a celebrity magazine, I was the editor of Star, and people would always ask me when I worked there, like, okay, like what stories are real? And I'd be like, okay, every story is real except for the ones about the royal family. And this was prior to Meghan Markle coming on. I'm like, the palace is just a tight ship. Like people don't blab, you know? So our stuff is like, maybe from a source. But once Meghan came on the scene, leaky ship. People were singing like a bird. Why? Because they were Meghan's spies. She was purposely putting that out there. She hired several PR firms to make sure the places like the Daily Mail, Page Six, our magazines were writing about her on a consistent basis. So when Meghan stands there and is like, I'm the victim, everybody's writing about me. It's like, well, girl, you're paying someone to make sure it happens. What are you talking about?
Runners for specifically heads together. Everybody in the marathon being given a headband. Yeah. People running for just all sorts of different reasons. But as you guys have clearly pointed out over and over again, you could draw 150 charities that everybody's running for around in a circle, and in the middle will be mental health. It's the one thing that binds everything together.
Yeah. And so many of the runners that we've met have been so energised, haven't they, by others having sort of these conversations around them, but also feeling like they're part of this change and this sort of progression towards sort of, I suppose, a more open society, really.
Mental health marathon.
Is it that the royal family didn't know about Meghan's struggles, or they knew about it but ignored it? Both Harry and Meghan tell a different story. I also elaborated about this in my last video, with Harry being candid about receiving treatment, then denying it, and Meghan also having her own hand-picked medical team for Archie's birth, but apparently lacking the power to see a therapist. But there's more information. Meghan told Oprah that a senior royal prohibited her from seeking professional help. She said, I said that I've never felt this way before and I need to go somewhere. And I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. This part is funny because it seems like Meghan and Harry can't get their story right, so they end up exposing each other. Harry later tells Oprah that he didn't tell his family about her mental health issues because he was, and I quote, ashamed. So which is it? Meghan going to his family and being denied help? Or Harry not wanting to tell his family about Meghan's struggles because he's ashamed?
Joining me now is the former royal correspondent, Michael Coles, Sunday Times royal editor, Roy Nicker, and former Conservative MP, Anne Widdecombe. I don't know where to start, really. Roy, let me start with you, because you had a great piece in the Sunday Times at the weekend, where you went through forensically a lot of the claims in the first 3 episodes. And a lot of the stuff that just didn't ring true to me, you nailed. Not least, for me, one of the most egregious parts of it, which was her attempt to say, look, there's this niece in my family that I really like. So it's not true I don't like them all. And the only reason she wasn't at the wedding with my mother was because someone at the palace told me it wouldn't be a good idea. But what was the truth?
That was not the account that 2 people who worked very closely with Meghan and Harry told me, both of whom had very specific recollections of that conversation with Meghan, which was Meghan saying, by the way, I've got a niece. That was news to the palace. They'd never heard of Ashley Hale before. And I'm close to her, but I don't want to invite her because it will expose her to far too much media scrutiny. To which the aide said, fine, no problem. It was Meghan telling the palace what was going to happen, not the palace giving any steer or any guidance as to which family members would come. They said they wanted more family to come because it would look less weird.
Of course, it was so weird as it was. One member of the family from either side of her family And then you have all these celebrities she's just met. I mean, it was just a weird thing to observe anyway at that wedding. But to then find out that this niece would have been the other 50% that was invited, and to concoct a kind of narrative. Look, you see how nice I am to my family? But I wasn't allowed to bring them to the... Well, total lies.
That was the very phrase used by one of the former members of the household that I spoke to for several of the claims that were made in the first 3 episodes.
A man completely besotted by her, madly in love. And I see a woman who plays that up, who does a lot of breathiness, and she talks about we were in a tent and there was an elephant rustling in the bushes, and he said he'd protect me. I'm sorry, but if there's an elephant in the bush, nobody's going to protect you. But there was actually a story that...
I mean, love conquers all. Even hooves.
Even elephants. I don't think so. But there was a beautiful story that showed their relationship when they first met, because he was an hour late, and she says, well, I don't tolerate this. Just not suitable behaviour, and I left. And then he goes, darling, but little, can I say? Oh, and he's very reticent to say, and then he goes, actually, you were late for the second meeting? And she goes, yes. Well, I had to have a shower. As though, that made a difference. So it showed that he is very reticent. She runs the whole show.
Yeah. Well, just on that, because when they were side by side, there was a story when she was talking about the curtsy to the Queen that she had to do, and it was Harry that I was actually watching in this moment. I don't know if we have a clip of it ready to go, but he looked incredibly, uncomfortable. There was something, see how he's sort of watching her, and look, he looks off to the side. What a little smirk, but I don't know, there was something really awkward about the way he looked at her in this story.
And then he looks down.
Yeah.
I would adore him to do more of those looks. He's not a theatre person, and I know as a theatre person you're always doing something theatrical and people are going, oh no, please don't do that. And he isn't like that himself. The whole story about the curtsy was disrespectful. If you went to a different country with a different culture, say Japan, and they said you had to bow, you would not make fun of that bow. You would see it as a creative opportunity. You wouldn't suddenly talk about, in medieval times.
So do you think he was embarrassed in that moment?
I think he was definitely embarrassed in that moment. And one of the few moments he was embarrassed, and I think he should be embarrassed a lot more.
Hey guys, thanks so much for being here, for watching. I wanted to take a second and say a huge thank you to all the amazing comments. I've gotten like 700 of them on my last video where I react to the last 3 episodes that came out. So thank you so much for that. I have thoroughly enjoyed reviewing those. You guys are amazing and hilarious, and I really love seeing your responses to it. So thank you so much for that. And if you want to keep going on this, we will. I'll keep covering reactions as they come out. I thought we could deep dive into, I hear they're getting a terrible Rotten Tomatoes score in some of the reactions there. But otherwise, have a wonderful weekend. And thanks again for all the love and support. I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.